Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update for everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. So today is November 8th. I've been off for a few days, so I'm sorry that you guys didn't get a video on Friday or Monday over the weekend. I had a long weekend. I haven't even been in trading or on Discord that much because I was kind of getting away from everything. So I had a nice weekend, so thanks for asking. And I'm ready to get started with today's episode now. So a lot of this episode today was community sourced. So for that, I am truly appreciative. Sadly, I haven't had time to go back and read like almost 4 days worth of trading. So a lot of the information in today's Rocket Fuel is stuff that the community has sourced for me, which is absolutely amazing. And I'm so happy for that. So thank you for everyone. So let's get started here. We have the first thing that happened was the snapshot vote for max effective stake for LEB8s concluded. The results were that the scale with node operator ETH, which was the 12 ETH option, max won the vote. So there was a 1,700 vote difference. Scale with node operator ETH got 6,700 votes. Flat number of ETH got 5,000 votes. Scale with protocol ETH got 3,500 votes. I think if the Marco Barco hadn't voted, it would have been a lot more of a tense finish. I think there was less than 200 votes in it, or something around 200 votes in it at the end, which is a very, very small number of votes. It would have been a very tense finish, but that kind of like meant that other options had an unassailable, the scale with node operator ETH had an unassailable advantage pretty much. So that's what won. So that vote is done. And the next thing I want to talk about is actually quite important to me because I was really upset last week, as you all know, those of you who've been watching Rocket Fuel. I was upset about a lot of things, but I don't want to talk about that now, right? So what I do want to talk about is this this comment that Dirty Frank made. So Dirty Frank's a new member of the community, and they were saying some things last week that I wasn't that happy with, but they said, he said, I presume it's he said, aside from being a whale, how can regular people contribute to the community? We can't all make YouTube videos. So obviously I make YouTube videos. So what I did was I replied to Frank and I said, why not? Like, you can make YouTube videos if you wanted to. There's always topics to make YouTube videos about. Also, the Rocket Pool media, YouTube influencer, I hate that term, YouTube influencer market is only me. It's completely centralized. So, there's always space for other people to be making videos about what they want to make about. And I would be happy to help anyone get started in that because the more voices we have out there, the better. So Dirty Frank can make videos, right? But also I said, it's fun. Why not? It's fun. Also, I said, maybe you can write Medium posts explaining how to stake with RPL. Maybe you can go into other communities and talk about RPL or RETH. Maybe you can nominate yourself to join the committee. Maybe you can start testing on Praetor when we have betas, new betas coming out all the time. Maybe you can learn some stuff and hang out in support and answer some basic questions whenever you can. Maybe you can hang out in general and talk to newbies and answer their questions. There are countless ways you can help. You just have to start. So why am I mentioning this now, even though it's like over a week ago? So I've been thinking about this a lot for the last few days, and I've talked to a few people about it as well. And I want to set out a challenge for everyone who is now in the Rocket Pool community. So Dirty Frank's only been here for a couple of weeks, right? And he already wants to start to help out. But I see a lot of people in trading who are in trading every day and who are great members of the community, right? But they just come on their shitpost. And I'm not calling anyone out. I love all of you. This is the best community online I'm part of. There's a reason why I'm doing this, because I love the community so much. So I love you all so much. But what's happening is we need more from you now. We don't need just your shitposting. We need you to do more. Find something, find anything that you're good at, anything at all that you can contribute. And I'm setting a challenge of every single one of us of doing at least 1 hour a week of something that will improve Rocket Pool. The vote is done. The community was ripped, but now it's our time to start healing together. All of us to put aside our differences of where we voted, all come together and start putting in the work to make Rocket Pool the best decentralized staking platform on Ethereum, the best decentralized staking platform in crypto, the best community in crypto, the best project in crypto. There'll be dozens, hundreds of ideas, anything that you can think of that you think can help. Talk about people in trading, get some advice, find out what the best way to do that is, and start doing it. And 1 hour a week, that's all I'm asking from you. If you've been in trading, if you've been in the Rocket Pool community for a year, at least, I want you to do an hour a week of work for Rocket Pool. Whatever that might be, whatever your strengths are. I'm not going to tell you what you do. All I want you to do is take that hour away from shitposting and do 1 hour of work. It's quite a lot to ask, right? I mean, that's more than some oDAO members do, but I really feel like we all need to come together now and work together to make everyone know once again that, you know, this is a community healed, this is a community union, has community union and is unified and are working together to make Rocket Pool the best possible product. And we all gain from that. Every single one of us gains from that, whether we're invested in RETH, whether we're invested in RPL, whether we are running nodes, whether we are part of the oDAO, whatever we are. Do some work for Rocket Pool to make it better. Come together and really help everyone else. And like I said to Dirty Frank here, right, you could start with something really small, like just pop into general once in a while and see what people are saying and like try to help someone. Go onto Reddit on RETH Finance. Every day there's at least some information about RPL or Rocket Pool. Go on there and answer some questions. Go onto the Rocket Pool Reddit and see if there's any questions there or any information that people are asking for and try to share that with them. Whatever you can think of that you can use your valuable time, 1 hour a week, get out there and go and do it. So this is a call to arms for the community to get back together, to focus on a singular task, and that task being making Rocket Pool the best possible decentralized staking solution and liquidity, staking derivative token on the market. We already are that, right? We already are the best product. We already are the best community, but now is the time to make it even better. Now is the time to let other people know about why we're so good. Go into other Discord channels, go into other communities, start talking about Rocket Pool, start talking about RETH, and get the word out there, because we're going to need a lot of growth in the next year, because there's big things happening, and we as a community need to lay the foundations for that now to make sure everything comes together in the next 6 months to 1 year, because it's going to be a crucial time after Atlas and after withdrawals, and we need to make sure that we as a community are ready to put our best foot forward and really do good stuff going forward. So on that note, I'm going to stop my rant. However, I'm doing my time every day. I'm putting in hours every day. I know other people in the community are putting in those hours every day. But if you're watching this and if you want to start putting 1 hour a week into making Rocket Pool better, then message me, come into the Rocket Pool thread, go into trading and ask, you know, what can I do to make things better? And there's always suggestions and advice on what you can do better. So Frank here, he said he wasn't sure what to do to make things better, right? But then Valdorf got in touch with him and he said that he has a Google Doc which has information about all the different liquidity incentives that are out there and what kind of rates you can be getting. And Frank has taken on board the updating of that document. So he's going to spend time every week going through all the different places where there's incentives for providing liquidity for RETH, and he's going to start updating all the APRs, all the information, the addresses. So Frank is working. Frank is now an active and contributing member of this community, even though he's only been here for a few weeks. So for those of you who have been here for a year or for 6 months or for 2 years, what's your excuse? It's time to step up. It's time to do the work, and it's time for the whole community to come together now. So let's do it all together. So yeah, okay, that's my call to arms. Let's get started with this. It's really great news. Came through a few days ago. The oDAO is expanding, part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Dave wrote a post here, says, hey everyone, we're proud to announce the first phase of our next round of new potential oDAO members for Rocket Pool. We're proposing new members in 2 phases. The first ones are here today, with another wave coming in the following weeks. One thing we've strived for is to have diverse selection of quality members who will help maintain Rocket Pool's vision of decentralized staking for the masses. To accomplish this, we're looking for Oracle DAO members from the ETH staking community, ecosystem, and the industry. Being a member of this oDAO will help Rocket Pool provide decentralized trustless staking in all forms while providing funding for these key ETH elements at the same time and more. So some of the oDAO members currently are like the client teams and Bankless, and the Rocket Pool team themselves have a few oDAO seats, and just like Beacon Chain and Etherscan. So there's a bunch of, I think there were 14 oDAO members before this expansion. So let's talk about who the expansions are. There's Gitcoin. So Gitcoin are the people who do Gitcoin grants, and they are really great at getting like public goods funding into the right places. So that was really wonderful to see. Next is Anthony Cesano, who's the founder of the Daily Gwei, and a YouTube channel that I watch every day, and I really look up to Anthony because so much of the work that he does is an inspiration for the work that I do. I truly respect like the work that he's doing, so that's really great. It says a fellow Aussie and all-around expert on Ethereum, all things Web3. He'll be invited to the oDAO to sit alongside fellow Ethereum community members Superfizz to help guide Rocket Pool's vision going forward with the Ethereum community at large. Now, one really wonderful thing that I saw from Anthony Cesano was in his episode of the Daily Gwei for Monday. He talked about how he wants to put the money that's coming in from the oDAO, the RPL tokens, and he wants to use those towards Ethereum public good funding. So Australians charge tax on income, and crypto will be income for him. So he wants to figure out what the tax situation for getting the RPL tokens will be, the first of all, and the second of all, he wants to try to give that money back to the community. So that is truly inspirational, truly wonderful for him to be literally getting thousands of dollars a month as an oDAO member, but his first instinct is to give it away to others in the Ethereum community. So I'm a huge supporter of Anthony Cesano. I'm a huge supporter of his signaling in that, and I hope that other people in the community see that. Excuse me. I hope other people in the community see that as well and like really get inspired by that. So next we have the most exciting oDAO members for sure, for me especially, and that's the rocket scientists. So those of you who are active in the Rocket Pool community know that we have certain community members who are classed as rocket scientists. Now, what does it mean to be a rocket scientist? A rocket scientist is a member of the community who has tirelessly worked for the community, and it's Dave here says the rocket scientist role is second only to the Rocket Pool team in here. There are bastions of positive and caring support for all new and advanced users alike. The users in this role not only know their stuff, but the way they carry themselves is even more important. So to give thanks to these users, a spot on the oDAO will help provide them with a say, but also some funding for their time here for being awesome for our community. All active members of the rocket scientist role will receive an equal share of rewards through a splitter contract written by us. Ken, one of the OG rocket scientists, will be running the node and responsible for administering it. In return, he will receive an additional share. So that's really, really wonderful, and I really like that. So basically, if you are now a rocket scientist, then you will be entitled to a split of the oDAO's payment that goes to the rocket scientist contract. So Ken will be running that node and it'll be going out, and he says, well, that turned out much longer than expected, 15.9 points for actually reading an announcement this long. We're proposing new team members to the current Oracle DAO over the next few weeks. Keep an eye out on the Events DAO channel as they get onboarded. So this is truly wonderful news. I'm really happy that the community is now getting a seat on the table, and in a way that hasn't happened so far, and that some of the people who are most valuable to our community will be receiving funding for their time in the Rocket Pool. So that's really, really great to see, and I'm really happy about that. However, there's this comment from TwoCanSpam that I really liked, and I think that this is a wonderful first step. However, let's read TwoCanSpam's comment because it's something that I agree with quite strongly. He says, Dave, responding to your request for feedback from protocol announcement, the current and new oDAO members are a fantastic list. All are a big win. My feedback besides the thumbs up is, would this be a good time to take on another strategic step towards directly funding the rocket scientists? This group joining the oDAO is likely to be closest to reinvestment in our community and social layer. Although one oDAO node may be enough to supplement the income of these individuals, 2 nodes will be a practical step towards hiring them full-time. Many are deeply integrated into the social layer of Rocket Pool and have a root system that extends into social media, the DAO forum, and every channel that we have in Discord. If we show an appreciation for these individuals through basically hiring them, their attitude of appreciation will course into every corner of Rocket Pool's reach. They've all proven to be work-first personalities, and their organic filtration into the rocket scientist role is the best job interview I can imagine for full-time thinkers and ambassadors. Giving rocket scientists one more node would not increase oDAO cost in any way and we positive re-weighting and reinvestment. I believe Ken is sufficiently doxed and trusted to perform his same proposed duties, but for 2 oDAO nodes, I give this feedback while the iron is hot and the next wave of onboarding is just beginning. Thank you. So one thing that I really like about this is, the rocket scientists are pillars of the community. We should be doing more for them. By giving them an extra oDAO spot, it'll be almost like hiring those members of the community, which is truly fantastic. However, the one thing that I didn't agree with, and that Object, who is a rocket scientist, brought up, he says, I agree with all of your points, but I think giving Ken multiple nodes goes against the decentralized nature of oDAO. We've got plenty of other scientists capable of running nodes, so I would prefer to see someone else running it. So that is the only comment that I agree with Object here and not with TwoCanSpam. And Valdov says Patches has explicitly written about how he would run a node, and I think that is what I would like to echo as well. I think if Dave is watching this, I think we should have a second spot for the oDAO, for the rocket scientists on the oDAO, and Patches should run that node because Patches, I think, is totally ready to do that, is totally prepared to do that, and has previously written about how he would do that. So this is a huge positive step, something that I'm really happy to see, and I want to see more of it going forward because a community that is respected and looked after by the community as a whole, how we all look after each other, I think is a really valuable tool, and I'm excited to see how it goes forward. So, and these are people who never asked for money, right? These are people who never asked for compensation for their time. They're just people who started doing the work that was needed, and they saw that there was something missing in the Rocket Pool community, and they started doing it. And they are every day. They're in the Discord every day, and this, like TwoCanSpam says, they will be on the way to being members, basically, of getting paid for it, and they can spend even more time in the community doing all the great stuff that they do. So the next thing is kind of funny. So there's been a lot of discussions about oDAO going on, and then there's Zero here, who's a rocket scientist as well. And Zero's been a very, very long time member of the community. He wrote the Rocket Pool Investment Thesis 1 and 2. If it wasn't for Zero, I personally wouldn't be invested in the Rocket Pool community, because reading his investment thesis is what really sucked me in. And he says, I think many people would contribute a lot more time if they became oDAO members. And this was after the protocol post was written. I don't think Zero fully read it. So let's read it. It's kind of funny. So sorry, Zero, I'm not picking on you, but it's just kind of funny that this happened. So Patches says, I would have used oDAO node to automate daily tree previews. And then Zero comes back and he says they don't even do anything. They just sit there and get paid, which is kind of funny. And Patches says they front gas costs and balance books, to be fair. And Zero says, I remember when Dave said community members could be oDAO members, and yeah, gave up on that one fast, kek, which is like a laugh out loud kind of emoji. And then Blue AVM says, okay, I think we should not judge like this. Once role and responsibilities are formulated, we might see actual efforts, but surely it's more than what you observe. Many things go unnoticed until we face it, like a recent issue of archive nodes. And Zero says, let me ask you, what have they done so far other than front gas costs? And Patches says, we can complain about the weather. Can we complain about the weather? And Zero says, it's been a year since Rocket Pool released, and they've onboarded. They just sat pretty, getting good APR. And then Patches says, like, rewards are late every day, while tree gen takes 2 hours. A naive solution, generate partial tree 3 hours before the interval ends, finish it up when the time comes. Fun solution, re-implement state transitions. And then let's scroll on a little bit. And then Zero says, TwoCanSpam says, would you consider rocket scientists on oDAO to be good on this promise? You will now be oDAO funded. And Zero says, I'd probably do a lot more and stop shit posting. There's a very low chance that will happen. And then Zero says, honestly, I'm super disconnected from Rocket Pool because I don't run a node. I don't directly profit from any work that I do. No voice for voting. And then TwoCanSpam says, your work has gotten you promoted to rocket scientist and you will now be funded via oDAO. And Zero says, I was promoted before I released anything. Actually, I think I released the first one and then later I got promoted. And he's talking about the Rocket Pool investment thesis. And TwoCanSpam says, yeah, you had released the first one, which was hugely impactful. And Zero says, but all my ideas for potential products, I stopped sharing. And then TwoCanSpam says, it was an earned promotion for what it's worth. And Zero says, was it? I don't know. And TwoCanSpam says, it sounds like you've forgotten how active and influential you were in early Rocket Pool history. And the fun thing is, and then Zero says, he said earlier, there's a very low chance that will happen. And then Patches says, but it did happen. And Zero says, what did? And Patches says, we're on the oDAO. And, we will be voted on at least. And Zero says, I thought it was just Ken on oDAO. And Patches says, go read protocol again. And then full keck. And then Zero says, it was 1 a.m. when I read it. And TwoCanSpam says, oh my God. So basically what happened was Zero, through his great work, was part of the oDAO. Became a rocket scientist, and then didn't realize that he'd be getting a nice chunk of money every month from the oDAO because Ken would be using a splitter contract. So that's funny to see. But I hope he does shitpost less and start contributing those ideas he was talking about, because that I'd really love to see Zero's ideas, because he had some really good ones. So yeah, that was funny. I thought I'd share that with you all. So this episode is getting really long, and I've not even really gotten into the weeds of things. The big drama this week was Etherscan. So Etherscan is a member of the oDAO. They have a node, and here we have a conversation between Fornax and Joe about Fornax is asking that the oDAO should have they should be more transparent in the work that they're doing, and Joe saying some of those tools are available and you can kind of see them here. And then a little bit later, people were still talking about what the oDAO was doing and how to get those information. And investors now want to know how old their last transaction is for each of the oDAO members. And then he found this: the Etherscan oDAO, their last transaction was 44 days ago or 45 days ago at that point. So it's like, what on earth is going on over here? And Joe says 44 days, wow. And investors, I thought you guys check the dashboard once in a while at least. And basically what happened is Object says, I feel like 44 days is enough to vote them out. And this started a whole conversation that went on the whole weekend pretty much about Etherscan and their oDAO node being offline for 44 days, and just how much of a travesty that is, because they're getting paid tens of thousands of dollars a month to run an oDAO node, and they can do with that RPL token that they get as inflation whatever they want, and some sell it, some hold it, some stake with it, but it's their funding that they're getting. So the service that they're providing is to run the node, and if they've not been running the node for nearly a month and a half, then what is their point? So what happens is, after a lot of discussion, a lot of communication, that went on for way too long for me to kind of go over it all. But what happened is, there's a lot of stuff happening. And then Dave released this post saying, We've been working with Etherscan to help them resolve their issue with their node for a few weeks now. I agree it was slack of them to not fix their node sooner, something I reiterated them over the time. I had the most downtime of any oDAO member to date, which definitely warranted the challenge. So then what's that? What's the challenge? Basically, the community got ETH together to challenge the oDAO, challenge Etherscan oDAO node. How does this work? That means that the community can spend 1 ETH to challenge an oDAO member, and the oDAO member has 5 days to respond, and if they don't respond in that time, they get kicked out of the oDAO. So the community got that 1 ETH together and was able to do that, and set the transaction to kick them out of the oDAO, which was really cool to see. And then Dave says, which was warranted the challenge and why I added it to the oDAO design originally, and I'm glad it got used. We respect them though and wanted to work with them to fix the issue before bringing the pitchforks out. They're a good mob, we've talked to many times, very kind, and then that's okay. And then what happened is Langers wrote this post and he says he may have noticed that Etherscan's oDAO has been challenged. Their node has been offline for 45 days. This is clearly unacceptable. Understandably, the community are far from impressed with their performance and have executed the challenge feature. And then there's address the link that the thing that I just showed you. If Etherscan's oDAO node does not respond to the challenge within 7 days, they will be removed from the oDAO and their bond will be burned. We are supporting Etherscan to resolve the issue. And then what happens is, we had this, the challenge was rejected. It says Etherscan has responded to the challenge, making it invalid. So that was great that their node is now back online and it's working again and doing what it was supposed to be doing all along. But I think this oDAO stuff has really brought a lot of the issues that we've had in the community about, what the oDAO does, what their lack of work is, and they didn't do themselves any favors. Basically, the Etherscan didn't do themselves any favors, and the oDAO as a whole has just gotten tarnished with this again. So that was really great that the community really rallied around this and really pushed this forward and made this happen, right? And sadly, it came to the threat of them being booted for them to actually act on that. So glad that we had that happen. Moving on from that. Maverick here says, so it's bi-weekly time again, previously much overshadowed, and then let's have a look at the actual bi-weekly post. So I'm sorry if the formatting here is not right. Oh, actually you can see all at the top. So it's bi-weekly post for today. It was posted 7 hours ago. It says the RETH supply has gone up 41% annualized growth. Mini pool count 46% annualized growth. Effective RPL has gone down by 11% because of the ratio going down. And then the node operator count has gone up by 70% annualized growth, which is really great to see. Smart node stack, the new version 1.7 has been released. R&D, the Atlas stuff is happening. 1-inch integration and the governance. There's the PDAO vote happened, and we got a new treasurer and 7 GMC members. And then Dave wrote a post about positive community interaction, which we talked about last week. The vote here for 12 ETH LEBs won, maximum collateral of 12 ETH. IMC started a trial with Gamma, and then more oDAO members, and lots of integrations happening. And Beefy now supports auto compounding of the ETH Aura LP vault. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. And then media, there's more positive messaging from Masari, and RPL supported by Exodus Wallet, and a YouTuber talked about RPL being a buy, and then there's lots of stuff happening there. So yeah, go into that to have a look and see all the great stuff that's happened in the last couple of weeks. Next, we have this comment for oDAO members. It says proposal 7, number 7, to adjust incorrect commission due to few distributor bug is now available for voting. Please see more details in our previous post here. The proposal will be available for voting until November 21st, which is in 13 days. As a reminder, you can vote using the command rocketpool.ov. Let us know if you have any questions or concerns. So then that's happening now. So it looks like that either should be fixed soon or might even be fixed now. Let's have a quick look. proposal 7. 7 votes for. I think we just need one more vote, and then that proposal will go through, and then the code can be implemented, and people who are waiting for their people who are waiting to distribute their fees, then they can start doing that. So that's really great to see. Okay, let's have a look next. This is really cool. Dukey shared this screenshot. It said, "Did you see this?" So let's have a look at what it is. So this is the ethereum.org website, a section for staking pools. So it gives you information about what staking pools are, why they're good, comparisons with other options, and then it explains what this means. All the different categories, what they mean. So it says what to consider, all the different things to consider. So it says, let's explore the staking pools. So we have Rocket Pool, Stakewise, Lido, Anchor Staking, Stakefish, and Starfi, I'm not sure. So basically there's all these different categories: open source, audited, bug bounty, battle tested, trustless, permissionless, diverse clients, liquidity token. Rocket Pool is green for all of those. So that means that they're open source, they're audited, they have a bug bounty, they are battle tested because they've been live for over 1 year, they're trustless, they're permissionless, anyone can join, they have diverse clients, lots of different clients that they use on the execution and consensus layers, and they have a liquidity token. So of all of these 6 services that are listed on the ethereum.org website, Rocket Pool is the only one that is green for all of them. And it's really wonderful to see. Like Stakewise does not have permissionless nodes. Lido is not trustless and it does not have permissionless nodes. Anchor is not audited. It doesn't have a bug bounty. It's not trustless, no permissionless nodes, and no diverse clients. Stakewise, well, it's better to count the green stuff rather than the red stuff. There's more red stuff. It is audited, it is battle tested, and it is trustless. But everything else is either red or question mark. And Starfi or Stafi, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, sorry, they don't have a bug bounty, they're not trustless, and they're not permissionless nodes. So it looks like Stakewise are actually doing a really good job of kind of getting fully battle tested as well, and fully green on everything. But currently Rocket Pool is the only one that's fully green, so congratulations to the team and the community for that. That's really cool to see. Ramana had this comment, and we've talked about Ramana's work quite a lot on Rocket Fuel about the Rocket ARB. So it says Rocket ARB successfully captured an ARB. So this is from yesterday, and if we have a look, here is the thing. So this person deposited 16 ETH, and they were able to get a chunk of that back through the Flash bot. And then today again it says another successful mini pool ARB, and they got a net profit of 0.025 ETH compared to just depositing their money themselves. And then another one as well, and another one netting 0.022 ETH. So that came through as well, which is really wonderful to see. And Kev says, does it pay back all gas costs? And it seems like it pays back all the gas costs and a little bit more on top. So you're basically depositing your node for a lot less than you normally would be. So that's really wonderful that that's working. At the moment, I think it's a bit of an advanced tool. I'm not sure exactly how you use it or what the interface is like. However, I'm sure that Ramana is going to carry on working on this and do some good work. So that's really cool to see. And finally, we have this comment from one of my favorite people in the community, Sleety, who says, prompted by looking at the Stakewise website, I really think Rocket Pool needs to accept its branding isn't good enough. Lido, Stakewise, future competitors are nailing this from the get-go. A proportion of future stakers are going to choose alternative solutions because Rocket Pool website and logo currently appear amateurish. The fact that Rocket Pool may have superior product does not factor into it. This is a matter of user interface and user experience. Maybe I'm more attuned to this because I'm a designer, but I feel like I'm not alone in the community. The fact I can create more professional looking website and visual brand in an hour or two is not a good thing. This isn't a humble brag, and I'm not twerking for a bounty or anything. I don't care who it is. Find a top designer and improve the brand. There are hundreds of designers out there that could revamp Rocket Pool to at least be on par with the professional sheen of Lido, Stakewise, etc. Nearly all DeFi products with similar TVL. To be clear, I'm not suggesting this would make or break Rocket Pool or anything like that. I'm suggesting this is low hanging but important fruit, in my opinion. So then he has like some images that he shared of like what the Rocket Pool website might look like if it wasn't as orange as it is, and just has a lot more modern and sleek design, and also a new logo that he designed, which is really beautiful, right? Like it keeps the rocket, it keeps like a lot of the same ideas, but it's just cleaner, it's just better, it's just beautiful. And I think this has been something that people in the community, especially Meek and others, have been mentioning over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, you know, we are desperate to make the Rocket Pool branding be as good as possible. So please, please, please let us do it. Let us do this, because we can bring the Rocket Pool website and the branding into I want to say the 21st century, because the website is it's not up to par, right? And we really need a lot of work on that to make it as good as it can be. So we don't even, what I mean to say is we don't need that much work to make it to be as good as it can be. And Sleety's literally here saying in an hour or two, like, he can do that. So I can't even begin to imagine what he'd be able to do in, like, you know, a week of work or 2 weeks of work. It'd be like amazing. And I think that it's something that we need to do. We need to the team needs to let go of some of the reins of the website and really let the community kind of, or work with the community to really like let this flourish, because this is really low hanging fruit, right? Like, Sleety is absolutely right. Like, we'll get a huge marketing push from new branding, from new website, from new user experience. And I think that we are mistaken for not taking that chance and not picking that fruit. And I totally agree with what Sleety's saying here. I totally echo what Sleety's saying here. So please, please, please let us do it. Let us, the community, do it. If you on the team are not doing it, let us do it, because this is really important, and we need, like I began the video, we need to be in the best possible position for when Atlas comes about and when withdrawing starts, because at that point there'll be a lot of people rethinking their staking that they're doing, and we need to be in the best position we possibly can be to take advantage of that, the maximum advantage of that. So yeah, let us do that, please. So this video has gone really long. I guess it was like 4 days of updates, and there was also that rant from me in the beginning. So thank you if you watched the whole thing, and tomorrow's video will be back to like the usual cadence, and I hope you all have a lovely week ahead, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.